Welcome back, fight fans. Welcome back. Let's just bring it right in. It's your landlord. Let's just break it down honestly and objectively as possible. Look, here's the thing. We got to separate the real from the fake. Salute to everybody coming in. When you come in, if you support the landlord, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Salute to Edgar, Mr. Spooks, Willie Williams, Gavin, William Calhoun, Francisco Moreno, Phone Jack, Chin Smoke. I see all you. Jay, my brother, salute. Richard, salute. Alan, salute. Look, we just got to be honest and unbiased. Salute, Soldier for God. Josiah, I see you. Look, let's just be real about this. Soccer Training Club, Carlos, Andrew. Look, I just got to give respect to everybody who gives respect to the landlord. And you know what? I realize why so many people have a problem with me. I realize why so many people don't like me. I realize why people say that I'm a fanboy, say that I'm biased. I understand it now. And let me tell you what I mean by this. It's because those are people who are pushing an agenda. Those are people who don't like the truth. Those are people who don't like facts. And the facts are the two kings of boxing are Anthony Joshua, Canelo Alvarez. The two top guys in boxing who run the face of boxing are Canelo Alvarez and Anthony Joshua. Whether you like these two guys, whether you love these two guys, those are the facts. Let's just be honest and unbiased about it. Look, Andre Ward was straight up hating on Anthony Joshua. Andre Ward hates on Anthony Joshua. It seems like the sport of boxing hates on Canelo Alvarez, but won't step in. How many times did Anthony Joshua send a contract to Deontay Wilder and he wouldn't sign it? How many times did Anthony Joshua send a contract offer to Tyson Fury and he didn't want the smoke? How many times did Canelo Alvarez said they said he was ducking Charlo. They said he was ducking all these guys. He sent contracts to Charlo. He sends contracts to Caleb Plant. These guys don't want the smoke. These guys don't want the truth. But anytime AJ and Canelo can't get a deal done because the other side has a problem, they say, oh, these guys, they're lowballing them. They're lowballing them. But that's the problem. Why is it lowballing when Canelo and AJ have negotiations, but when Floyd did it, oh, he's the A side. You got to take what he gives you. Stupid. There's no bigger stars in the sport of boxing right now than Anthony Joshua and Canelo Alvarez. Let's just be honest and unbiased. GB Boxing says Joshua sent Fury contract. News to me, this one. Let me explain to you, GB. Anthony Joshua made multiple offers to Tyson Fury before he even fought Deontay Wilder, and the answer was no. He offered Tyson Fury 60-40, and he didn't want it. He didn't want the smoke. He offered Dillian White the smoke recently. He didn't want it. He offered Deontay Wilder the smoke. He didn't want it. We know who's telling facts from fiction. That's the problem with these guys. They say, "Oh, you're a fanboy. You're biased. You're not real." That's because I'm not supporting their agenda. This is how you spot a biased channel. Let me tell you, because if you don't know, now you know. Look, this is how you spot a biased channel. First of all, if a channel tells you that Anthony Joshua or Canelo Alvarez is ducking someone without any facts and proofs to back it up, they're biased. They're biased. And let me explain to you what I mean by that. Look at, for example, they say Canelo's ducking Charlo. Why would Canelo duck Charlo? Why would Canelo duck Demetrius Andrade? Neither one of those guys are more skillful than Canelo Alvarez. Neither one of those guys have fought better competition than Canelo Alvarez. Neither one of those guys have ever stepped into the level of Canelo Alvarez. Neither one of them. So if anybody says you're a fanboy, if anybody says you're this, you're that, clearly they're speaking from their own bias. From their own bias. There's nothing Demetrius Andrade can do to Canelo to make him duck him. Nothing. Demetrius Andrade doesn't have the power to knock out Canelo. Demetrius Andrade doesn't have the skills to outbox Canelo. He can give him difficult rounds, but there's nothing he can do. Let's just be honest and unbiased. Then you look at Anthony Joshua. Why would he duck Tyson Fury and he's already offered him 60-40? Why would he duck Deontay Wilder when he offered him 100 mil? We got to be real. A lot of these people just don't want to be real about it. You just don't want to be real about it. See, I'm not going to answer the trolls who don't want the truth, who don't want to speak the truth. That's the problem with a lot of these channels. A lot of these channels are leaving the LDBC. Listen up closely. A lot of these channels are leaving the LDBC and saying that they're true and honest and unbiased. Don't believe anybody that leaves the LDBC, starts another channel, and say, oh, I'm not a part of that. If you leave the LDBC, and you got to understand, the LDBC was built on bias, was built on lies, was built on frauds, was built on fanboys. So if we're going to be honest about it, how can you leave the LDBC and now you're true and honest, but your whole boxing resume is built on lies? You're a fraud. That's the problem with these fanboys. You can't tell fact from fiction. But you know what? We're going to break it down a lot better for these fanboys today, because you know what? And can't nobody ever say that the landlord is biased. Can't nobody ever say that the landlord don't keep it real. Can't nobody ever say that, because you know what happens is that anybody that ever had a problem with me, they're either too scared to say it or they're too scared to click the link and come get this smoke. That's what it really is. But let's just be honest. The hated kings of boxing are Anthony Joshua and Canelo Alvarez. That is absolute fact. And let's just go by it. Let's just go by it, because these guys don't want the truth. These guys don't want the truth. So they're saying that Canelo Alvarez is ducking Caleb Plant, Demetrius Andre, Jamal Charlo, Billy Joe Saunders. But none of these guys have ever faced elite competition. Canelo Alvarez is the only one. So how are you ducking someone when you're the only one fighting all the real fighters? It doesn't make sense. They're a fanboy. Let's just be honest. And they say Anthony Joshua, he's an easy fight for Tyson Fury. He's an easy fight for Deontay Wilder. Well, let me explain this. Didn't Tyson Fury struggle with Uber drivers and Otto Wallin and John McDermott? Didn't Deontay Wilder's whole boxing career is the who's who of tomato cans? So how is Anthony Joshua an easy fight for anybody? These guys don't want the truth. They don't want the truth. These guys are straight biased fanboys. But here's the thing. They say IBFP, you shout too much, you talk too loud, but you're worrying about my voice, my tone of voice, my energy. What you need to be worrying about is these facts that I'm putting upside your head every 5 minutes. See, that's the problem. These guys don't want to listen to the facts. They want to ignore the facts. Who's the only one fighting the best after the best after the best is Anthony Joshua and Canelo Alvarez. Who's the guys that are making offers for fights? Who's the guys who really wants to fight the best? It's Canelo Alvarez and Anthony Joshua. Then they turn around and they say, Canelo Alvarez, he's scared to fight this guy or that guy. He's scared to fight somebody in his prime. He want to fight old fighters. He want to fight guys that are done. Is not Billy Joe Saunders an undefeated world champion in his prime? Are you stupid? Is Caleb Plant not an undefeated world champion in his prime? He put 2 contracts on him. Is Callum Smith not an undefeated world champion in his prime? Put some respect on Canelo's name, because this is facts, not fictions. Get out of your feelings. You can hate them, but you got to respect what they're doing. You got to respect. These guys are the kings of boxing, period. Who else? So you're saying Canelo Alvarez is scared of Demetrius Andrade, scared of Jamal Charlo? Those are the peasants of boxing. Those guys are not all-time greats. Those guys retired today. They wouldn't even be in the Hall of Fame. What are we talking about? And like I said, if you left the LDBC, you start a channel and you're saying you're true and real and unbiased, but you can't bring any facts, then the first thing you need to do is stand up, turn the light switch on and off, and slap yourself, because that's absolutely stupid. Let's just be real. Let's just be real. Let's just be real. We just got to be real about all this. We got to be real about it. Let me give you some more. They say Anthony Joshua has a soft chin. He got a soft chin. He got a soft chin because he got hurt by Andy Ruiz Jr., who has elite hand speed and underrated power. But he also got dropped by Vladimir Klitschko, who's an all-time great, while Deontay Wilder got dropped by Harold Sconiers, your local Uber driver. While Tyson Fury was dropped by Steve Cunningham. While Tyson Fury also got dropped by another guy who had 5 knockouts in 18 fights. But Anthony Joshua has a soft chin. Has a soft chin. We got to be honest and unbiased today. And if you got a problem with the IBFP, I will be more than happy to drop that link and body bag anybody on facts, period. And look, we just got to be honest. Canelo Alvarez, who's he considering for his next opponent? They said he's trash. They said he's scary. They said he's this. They said he's that. But who is he considering? Caleb Plant, a world champion in his prime, undefeated. Who else is he considering? Billy Joe Saunders, world champion in his prime, undefeated. This dude is considering champions for his next fight. Champions. This dude, whether you like Triple G, whether you think he's done or not, that man is still a world champion. That's still a belt to grab. That's still a belt. See, but I noticed the energy change. I'll put it like this. They say Canelo can't fight Triple G because he's old. We don't want to see that. But he needs to fight Demetrius Andrade or Jamal Charlo. They have a belt. Well, Triple G has a belt. What the hell has Jamal Charlo and Andrade ever done to be ranked higher than Triple G? We got to be honest and unbiased. If you're hiding in the bushes, come out and I'll put the smack down on you with these facts. See, these guys don't want the truth. These guys don't want the truth. Canelo Alvarez moved up 2 weight classes, gave up size, gave up power, and knocked out a sitting world champion. And you got all these people criticizing this dude? Why are you criticizing Canelo for daring to be great and actually showing he great, but everybody else can fight tomato can after tomato can, Uber driver after Uber driver, and you go and fanboy for? You go and say these guys are the greatest thing since sliced bread. What are we talking about? Anthony Joshua is a unified heavyweight world champion. Anthony Joshua has the best resume in the heavyweight division. He's beat Dillian White. He's beat an undefeated Joseph Parker, Carlos Takam, Alexander Povetkin, and all-time great Vladimir Klitschko. But in Tyson Fury's last 6 fights, he fought Wilder twice, who's trash, and he fought 4 bums, Safari, Pineda, Schwartz, and Wallin. These guys don't want the truth. Who did Deontay Wilder fight in his last 6 fights? 2 losses to Tyson Fury, an Uber driver, tomato can, and somebody else's grandpa. They don't want the truth. They don't want the truth. These guys, they just want to be biased. But if you think I'm scared, to diss facts with anybody, you're more than welcome to come up and I'll drop that link for you. See, that's the problem with these dudes. That's the problem. They're all talk and no action. They're all lies and no truth. These guys don't want what's real. You can't debate those facts. If Canelo's a coward, if he's ducking somebody, then why did he fight Floyd Mayweather, who's a bad stylistic fight for him at 23 years old? Why did he fight Idislandi Lada, who's a bad stylistic matchup? Why did he move up and fight the big bad Sergey Kovalev? Why did he fight Triple G when no one else was fighting Triple G? Why did he fight Danny Jacobs when no one else was fighting him? See, that's the problem. You can't compare Canelo to any of these guys because these guys aren't doing it. You can't compare Anthony Joshua to anybody else because he's put in the work. He's put in the time. These are facts, not feelings. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Canelo beat Austin Trout as well. This is when Austin Trout was at his best. But everybody give credit for dudes beating a washed Austin Trout. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? So I'm going to just tell you this. I better have nothing but thumbs up. Nothing but thumbs up. But if anybody thumbs down this entire podcast, I want you to know something. That's the fanboy hiding in the bushes. That's the fanboy that's in his feelings. That's the fanboy that's scared to click the link. That's the fanboy that's a coward. You can say, oh, I talk too loud, I yell too much, but you won't click the link, you coward. Salute.